Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing? So, I am here with the amazing and fabulous Kate Collins. So, do you want to say hi and tell everyone a little bit more about yourself?
The screen just went black. Oh, there I am.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
Hi. Well, as she said, I'm Kate Collins. I'm the author of the New York Times best-selling Flower Shop Mystery Series and now the Goddess of Green Street Mystery Series. I've written 34 books and 4 novellas and innumerable children's stories.
Mhm.
And I started out my career as an elementary teacher.
Nice.
When my children were born, I switched over into writing and I've never looked back.
Very nice. And you've always wanted to write cozy mysteries, or did you ever think about romance or, I
I
don't know, sci-fi?
actually, my first 7 novels were historical romance.
Okay. But you don't want to go back. You're like, I want there to be a murder in every book.
You know, in every one of my historical romances, there was a murder mystery. And my agent finally said, "Would you please just write mysteries?" Just my editor
Right.
kept saying, "You got to put more romance in these stories and less mystery." So I finally just said, I'll just go with mystery."
Good decision. All right. So let's see who we have. Hey, Brett, can you see it underneath me, Kate?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Hi, Karen, April, we have Helen, we have Brooke, Sharon, Prudence, hi, Amber Scott. All right. Okay, so I always ask this of everybody. My favorite ice cream flavor is mint chocolate chip. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. You're so healthy, even with ice cream. All right. Let us know in the comments two things: what your favorite ice cream is, and also if you love this book and if you're going to continue the series. And if you didn't read it, don't worry. I'm going to sum it up for you really quickly. So statue. I even wrote statute in my notes. So I read this like as soon as it came out. Kate was nice enough to send me all 3 books. So I'll try to, I put notes down so I wouldn't accidentally give things away from the other books. So Athena. So you got a lot of things going on in this book. So first of all, there's Athena, and stop me, Kate, if I'm wrong. She's divorced. She moves back to Michigan with her son because her parents are there. So she moves to Little Greece. She helps them run their store. And then you also have Kevin, who is still in Michigan, who is an ex-boyfriend. He happens to be a lawyer. We were just talking about there's a bunch of law, because so statute of limitations, because this is about a statue, but it's also a play on words because there's a lot of lawyers in here and about a lot of legalese going on. So Kevin is a lawyer and it's also her ex, and he's trying to get back together with her. And I think her family wants her to get back together with him, but she's not really like feeling it, but she doesn't want to be rude. So he keeps popping up everywhere. And then the Talbot, so Talbot Sr., I believe his name is Harry, was murdered. Well, not murdered. He's dead. We don't know if he was murdered or not murdered at the beginning, but he was going to wipe out the whole area, Little Greece, and put up a new complex. However, right before he died, he told everyone he would repeal that. But before he got a chance to file that paperwork, because remember, it's all legal stuff, he dies. So no one really knows either way what was supposed to happen. And then the fourth thing going on is there's a big statue at that her grandfather purchased, that Athena's grandfather purchased. And the name on, I guess, the authentication on who owned it or something like that on the statue has been wiped off or like ground down. And so he's claiming that it's his statue and asking for paperwork on it. And so she's really offended by this, even though he's a super obviously hot and attractive lawyer that she like wants to go out with. And so this is all going on throughout like the whole book, right? There's
Yeah, Case isn't a lawyer. Case is an internet researcher.
Oh, okay. Case is the
He's not a
researcher,
lawyer.
who we also end up calling Dimitri later because she ends up hiding him and pretending his name is Dimitri, so he can kind of blend
Hiding
in.
him as a Greek. So he has
Yeah,
to dress up in a Greek fisherman's costume and grow his beard out and hair. And of course, he even looks even sexier like that because he looks like a pirate.
right. And he's living on a ship. He's living on her grandfather's ship
House
boat.
houseboat. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's hiding out on the houseboat. And then, of course, her sister Delphina runs into them and is like, "Who is this guy?" And so then she has to make up a bunch of lies, and her sister thinks he's hot. So you got that going on too. So let's just check in. Who else is here? Trisha's here. April, dark chocolate is my favorite too. Caramel is my favorite ice cream. Oh, that does sound good. Pralines and cream from Sharon. Vanilla chocolate chip. That sounds delicious. Tin Roof Sundae is my favorite ice cream. The book was great. 5 stars. Awesome. Thanks, April.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amber took a bit to get into, but I loved it towards the end. Helen, I love dark chocolate too. I love the first book and we'll carry on. Nice. Brooke, I was totally suckered into the story. I really enjoyed it and will read the next in the series. Great. So don't buy it yet because we are giving away book number 2. So somebody tonight is going to get book number 2 in the series. All right. So there is a press conference where they're going to announce that the place was supposed to be saved. There's a woman crying. It's very upsetting. Everybody in town's there. So there's this kind of like weird thing going on where people aren't sure whether or not they should sell out to get a high price right now or try to hold out and see if they can get a court injunction to like stop the Talbots from taking over. And so the whole thing is the father, the senior, Harry Talbot, was in the bathtub, which already sounds suspicious, right? So he's in the bathtub and he says, he's like, someone says that Harry told them that he didn't really trust his son and the wife. But they're the ones that are really like moving forward and saying, well, that's what our dad wanted. He wanted to tear this out, all of Little Grease down. And so, but she, the wife, is the one that happened to have found Harry's body. So that sounds suspicious. So she is then arrested and she hires Kevin, who is Athena's ex, to be her criminal defense lawyer. So this goes on where he's like investigating. So they're now kind of like on opposing sides, Kevin and Athena. And then she feels kind of like the only person really on her side is Case/Dimitri. And then also I should mention, because it's a little Grease, the mom has given her, the mom's name is Hera, the goddess of matchmaking. So she's always trying to set them up. And then her sister is Delphina and she's Athena. So they all have Greek names. And then, okay, so fast forward. So they're trying to figure it out. And in the meantime, Case, as Dimitri, asks her and her son if they want to go to the Tulip Festival. Actually, her son wasn't in it a lot. So I don't know if he was older or like maybe because she's there with her family, it sounded like they were always taking care of the son, I think most of the time.
He's 10 years old.
He's 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So she rallies to have everyone form a human chain to stop the buildings from being demolition because it's like moving forward. They're losing. So Kevin has Case arrested. So now she's really upset. And then while Case is arrested, she ends up being kidnapped by the medical coroner and then put in the building where they're about to demolition it because the coroner is also in on it because he's in on it with the wife and with the son, right?
Sonny Talbot.
Sonny Talbot, yes,
Talbot.
Sonny.
But not the wife. Not the wife.
The son's name is Sonny.
Right.
Not the wife, right?
Right, not the wife.
Okay, not the wife. So Sonny wants to have her killed, and he's like, everything will be done, right? The building's going to be demolished. It will just look like an accident. And then Kevin comes in to try to save her.
Oh, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Oh, we do. That's what we do in book club.
You do give it away.
Yeah, we do give it because everyone read the book.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
So Kevin comes to rescue her, but he gets knocked out by Dr. Kirkland. So he can't save her, which is kind of like what was leading up to in the book. Like Kevin tries, but he's kind of like the wimpy guy. Whereas Case comes in and he's the one that saves the day and saves her from being killed. So that is the happily ever after, because Case ends up deciding to stay there and not leave and move to Michigan. And she decides to sell him the houseboat so he can live in it. Did I miss anything?
You missed a lot of the humor. There's a lot of humor in it with the Greek family.
Okay.
It's a big, crazy Greek family. The sisters are all named after Greek goddesses. Selene is the moon goddess, and Maya is the goddess of the fields, which is funny because she's a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And Delphi is named after the Oracle of Delphi. And
Mm-hmm.
because the Oracle gave readings in the future, Delphi thinks that she can too. She thinks she has the ability to read people's futures. So it's kind of funny to see her do these. So the Greeks don't read tea leaves, the Greeks read coffee grounds
Mm-hmm.
left in the bottom of a coffee cup when they make a special cup of coffee. So Delphi does coffee ground readings, and her readings are funny. They're funny. I inject humor in Delphi's character. Delphi reminds me of Phoebe on Friends. Friends,
Okay.
my favorite show.
Nice. Did anyone, so let us know in the comments, did you know who the killer was? Like, did you figure it out before the book told you, or were you still confused? I was still confused. It took me a while to figure it out. I honestly thought, obviously, because I just said it, I thought it was the wife. I thought it was Lila. I didn't know that it was Sunny. Let's see. I don't know what that is. April, being from a Greek Irish family, I felt right at home reading the book. Oh, nice. Helen, I love the blog. The
Oh,
blog.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Amber, I didn't know. All right. Karen, I was confused about the killer. Yeah, you did a good job of hiding it.
Thank you. Thanks. I try. I try real hard.
Yeah, it took a while to figure it out. And then what else? Was anybody else expecting, like, eating a lot of Greek food while you were reading this? I was always like probably my favorite Greek food is the traditional like gyros, I think, and French fries.
That's more of an American invention.
Yeah, probably. Do you have a favorite Greek meal?
I love moussaka. I love
Oh, okay.
moussaka. I love pasticcio.
Hmm.
Pasticcio is like a Greek lasagna.
Hmm.
I love that. And of course, my favorite dessert is baklava. I love
Oh, yes.
baklava.
Yeah,
I'm,
it's so sad because I'm from Chicago, so we have this really nice Greek town.
yes, I've been there.
Yeah, and they've gentrified it so much that I don't even think anything's left. It's just a bunch of condos now and grocery stores instead in that area. So, Shipwreck. I didn't know. I love getting the reveal. Karen, I love the family. They were hilarious, especially Delphi and the mom. I'm already looking forward to book 2. Awesome. Amber, I love Greek salad. Oh yeah, Greek
Oh,
salad.
yeah. I make one every night.
Every night? That's
Mhm.
like a lot of dedication.
It's a lot of feta.
April, baklava is my favorite dessert ever. Yeah, I guess if you like feta, it's like nice to put it in everything. Yeah, I had a friend who's Bulgarian and he loved putting feta in everything. Like every meal was better with feta, even French fries.
Oh my gosh.
Um, oh, that's your book. The blogs were a fun touch. Yes. Trisha, grape leaves. Yum.
Oh, stuffed grape leaves. Domatas, they call them domatas.
Tomatos. Nice. All right. Anything else in the book that we want to talk about? Karen, I'm not sure if I've ever eaten anything Greek. Surely I must have, but I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, sometimes if like you don't have like just like Kate was saying, I was eating mostly the Americanized version of Greek food. April, is there something feta doesn't go into? Maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess it could go in everything. I love cheese, so I feel like it goes into all things. Is feta your favorite type of cheese?
No, no, I love extra sharp cheddar.
Oh, all right. And you guys can ask Kate questions too. I know we've been talking about the book. You can ask her things like what are you working on right now, Kate?
What I'm working on right now is book 4 in the series, and it's a crossover. So it brings in the main characters from my Flower Shop Mystery series
Oh, nice.
into this small town in Michigan to have Athena and Case help solve a case.
Very nice. Everybody loves crossovers.
Well, I hope so because I have a lot of Flower Shop Mystery fans, and I think they're going to love seeing Abby Knight in the Goddess of Green Street Mysteries.
For
So,
sure. When does that come out?
not until a year from March, I think, or a year from January.
You're
It's
from
a long
January.
way off.
Yeah. Well, you're still writing it right now.
Oh, I'm still doing it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still writing the book. Yeah.
Um, Karen, awesome. I love crossovers. Yes, crossovers are the best. April, Kate, we should be food besties. Extra sharp cheddar is my favorite cheese too. Nice. Cressida, I have the same friends t-shirt in red. The new project sounds exciting. Um, Sharon, thanks for being here, Kate, and for organizing this, Lisa. I'd like to know about your plotting process, Kate, and also how do you go about doing your research for your novels? Thanks.
Well, my plotting process is I come up with um, a murder. First of all, I come up with a murder, and then I start to dissect it. Like, who wants this person dead? And there has to be at least 4 people that would have reasons that they would like to see this person dead. So my murder victim is usually somebody who's not very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that way there are people around who would rather see them dead. So then I start writing backstories for each one of these suspects. So each one has a connection to the murder victim and a backstory. How they know that person, what that person did to cause them to feel that way about them. And I build these stories around the murder. And then I start taking Athena into the situation where she would have to solve the murder. So is it connected to, like in the second book, her sister Celine is accused of murder because she's a hairstylist and her scissors were found stabbed in the back of the murder victim. So of course Athena gets involved because she wants to save her sister. Her sister is the obvious murder suspect. And that's how Athena gets involved. So in each book, there has to be a reason why Athena gets involved. Otherwise, the detectives would do it.
Right. And she wouldn't even care. It would be weird for her to do it, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. What would she care for?
Mm-hmm.
So then I start writing down how they would interview people, who they're going to interview first. And then I start writing out the interviews and then I just build the story.
Nice.
And
Do
then
you write it? Oh, go ahead.
I have to interject family scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I always interject humor because I like to keep the books light. I like them to be the kind of books I like to read where you've got a good page turner murder mystery, but you also have light moments to make you feel good. And so it's not gore. I don't like to write gore.
Mm-hmm.
I like something light and easy to read and entertaining.
Okay. Which is what I think a lot of us in the book club like. So do you write every day?
Yes, I do. Every afternoon.
Okay. That's your schedule. Just morning routine and then afternoon.
Morning, I do internet work and any research that I have to do and errands and housework and get that all done in the morning, and the afternoon is for writing.
That's a good plan. And then you just kind of stop right when dinner starts?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
At 5:00, my dog wants to eat. So at 5:00, I close up the computer and I go feed her.
The dog dictates the writing schedule.
Yes.
Cool. Trisha, that is so awesome. Didn't realize you were the author of the Flower Shop Mysteries. Yes. It's the same Kate Collins. Nice. And so are you writing on a laptop, on a desktop? Do you have like a Scrivener, Word? Like what's your technology?
I write on a desktop with a big monitor and I use Word.
Word. Okay. So you're hitting Control S to save all the time, right?
Yep.
Nothing worse than losing stuff. Karen, I like the light and easy. I also don't like gore, nor do I like sad. I have had so much sad in my life lately that I gravitate to the lighthearted cozies. Yeah, I think a lot of us just want to read something light and not, if we want it dark and depressing, we could watch the news.
One of the nicest compliments that I ever got was a woman told me at one of my book signings, she came up and said, I want you to know that I had one of your books with me when I was in the hospital when my mother was dying, and your book got me through it.
Aw,
And I almost cried
wow.
because it was just awe inspiring to know that that had helped her through a terrible time.
Hmm, that is good. Yeah, I mean, the first time I read one of your books, it was actually on accident. Like, I think it was like way before, and I was like, I read it and I was like, this is like such a good author. Like, I was like, she knows what she's doing. This is such a good plot. I love the main character. And I was like, everything is so perfect. And so, like, and that's me also as an author, but I was just like, I have to read more of these books. So it's like a feeling that you get too, like when you read them.
Thank you.
Cressida, I would love to know what the favorite book of yours you have put out is so far. Also, do you have favorite authors?
Boy, I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. She wrote the Poisonwood Bible.
Oh, yeah, I knew you were talking. I can't think of the name either.
I
I'm sure
can't
someone
think
will
of
tell
her
us.
name. I love her books. I've read all her books.
Hmm.
Boy, her name escapes me. Of my books, my favorites,
Hmm.
wow. Um, Use with Caution. That's
Okay.
YEWS, Use with Caution. Moss Hysteria.
Hmm.
Sleeping with Anemone.
Hmm.
Forest Grump.
Cute.
No, actually, it's Florist Grump.
Florist Grump. Yes.
Those are a few of my favorites.
Nice. April, how easy was it to move from being a teacher to an author? I'm a history teacher and I want to write nonfiction history books or historical cozies.
I have always been very creative with stories. When I was in school myself, I always got A's on my creative writing assignments. When I was a teacher, I was an elementary teacher, but I always emphasized creative writing. So it was always there in the background. And then when my son was born, my first child was born, I happened to see an ad in the Chicago Tribune for a course, an online course in writing for children and teenagers. So I
Hmm.
signed up for it. I was home, taking care of a baby, and I signed up for this course, and it taught me everything I needed to know about writing short stories. So I started that way. I started writing children's stories and sold them to magazines. And the whole time I was doing it, I kept thinking, I'll bet I can write. I loved reading historical romance. And I
Hmm.
kept thinking, I'll bet I can write one of these. I'll bet I can write one. So I actually decided to put my money where my mouth was and sat down to write it and bombed big time. I didn't know what I was doing with 400 pages to fill. And so I joined Romance Writers of America,
Hmm.
and they were having a conference in Chicago that year. So I took the train up to Chicago and I attended the conference. And that 3-day conference, they had back to back workshops. I took every one of the workshops and it taught me everything I needed to know about plotting. So I sat down and wrote a new book and it got published. And that was the start of my writing career.
Wow.
So I
Nice.
would say start small. If you are wanting to get into the publishing, start small.
Hmm.
Write articles, write short stories, and before you move into something like a 300 or 400 page novel.
Yes, it's a very, very long book. um, Amber, I prefer a light cozy. Yeah, light cozies are, yeah, they're nice. They're like nothing too heavy, like she was saying, like something to lift you up if you're in a bad situation. Want to escape. Starry, Starry Night, were you always writing throughout your life? When did you decide this was something you were going to do professionally?
Right after my son was born,
Okay.
it was something that I wanted to do, and I thought maybe I can actually sell a book, and I did.
Karen, I adore your flower shop's titles. Nice. Brooke, the story was so much fun. I really liked Athena. Do you have an actress in mind that you would have play her in a movie?
I thought of that question, and I can't think of an actress that would be about 30 years old
Hmm.
who has light brown hair, who
Hmm.
is like 5'7" tall. If you can think of it, please tell me if you can think of somebody like that.
So no one in mind just yet.
No, no.
I mean, even if Hallmark picked it out, you don't get a say, right? They just pick out the person.
They pick out when they cast the Flower Shop Mysteries with Brooke Shields, I was shocked because Abby Knight in my stories is 27 years old.
Hmm.
And Brooke was 50 some, 50, I think, when they
Good
cast
for
her.
her.
And they said, well, this is an older Abby Knight. So instead of the young Abby Knight, they made her divorced with a teenage daughter, and they gave her a history, like what would have happened to my character 20 years later.
Oh, I see.
So it was a little bit of a jolt for me, but Brooke Shields did such a good job doing the comedic part of it. She was
Hmm.
bubbly and fun, and it reminded me of Abby if Abby had been 5'10" and 50 years old.
Supermodel. Yeah.
Abby is like 5'2" and a redhead,
Hmm.
but Brooke was so much fun to be around. We sat at a bar and had beers together, and she was funny on the set. She would crack everybody up in between takes. And she was just a warm, vivacious person. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah. And she had really good chemistry too with the guy. I can't remember. He's in other movies that they picked out for the series as well.
Yep. And his name escapes me right now.
Yeah. So it worked out perfect.
Yes, they did have
So
good chemistry. They played
who
well with
knows?
each
They
other.
could cast a blonde person in
Yeah.
this. Let's see. Barb Kingsolver. That's right.
Barbara Kingsolver.
Poison
Thank
Wood.
you.
I was
Thank
like,
you,
someone
Barbara
will know.
Kingsolver. I love her books.
Yeah. Helen, I like the chemistry between Case and Athena. The relationship felt well. Yeah, they had really good chemistry in the book for sure. Um, April, thank you so much for the advice. Awesome. So I think I got everybody. So you guys ready for the giveaway? Yes. All right, Kate, give me a number between 10 and 20.
17.
17. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. April, congratulations. Your extra sharp cheddar comment won. so, so April, send me an email. I think you have my email because you've won before, but it's really easy. Lisa@lisaseifert.com. And send me your mailing address and your phone number. Sometimes I like the phone number for tracking. And don't worry, I won't call you, but I will add it to the mailing label and we'll send out book 2 to you. Yay. So, and just so you know, there are 3 books out already. All 3 are out now, right?
Yes.
Yes. All 3 are out. So you could read all 3 in the series. And then obviously, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to show us each title?
Okay, this is the one you read, Statute of Limitations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second book. Whoops.
Yep.
A Big Fat Greek Murder.
Yes.
And then this is the newest one, Big Trouble in Little Greek Town.
Nice. Yeah, so all 3 of them are out. And obviously, because the 4th book is a crossover, you'll want to go over and read all of the Flower Shop mysteries. And like she said, it's a kind of a different Abby in there than it is in the TV shows. But you can still watch the TV shows too.
Abby Knight in my books is 10 times better. If you watch the 3 movies on Hallmark
Mhm.
and read the 3 books that they're based on, you will notice that the books have a whole lot more plot.
Mhm.
When they make the movies, they only have 2 hours. So they
Yeah.
cut out all the subplots, they cut out the funny parts, and they stick strictly to the murder.
Mhm. The
So
main stuff.
you miss a lot of the good stuff.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Oh, Amber, I really like what Hallmark did with your book idea. Yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job. So that way you could enjoy both.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of people who say, they love the movies and that
Mhm.
they went out and bought the books. So that works.
Yeah. Yeah, you could try it both ways. Sometimes like read the book first, then the movie, and then the book. So, because then you'll be looking for like little clues and things along the way.
Right, right.
So, awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Kate. If nobody has any other questions, then I think we're good. Yeah. All right, everyone. Good night.
Good night.